Most people think the most dangerous addiction in the world is alcohol. Some think it's drugs, others blame gambling. And in recent years, millions have pointed their finger at social media. But what if all of them are wrong? What if the addiction quietly destroying more dreams than alcohol, more potential than drugs, and more futures than social media is something most people never even question? What if it's something that feels completely normal? Something society rewards? Something that feels safe? Comfort? Think about it. Nobody wakes up one day addicted to comfort. That's what makes it so dangerous. Alcohol announces itself. Drugs leave visible damage. Gambling empties bank accounts. But comfort works differently. Comfort whispers. It doesn't force you to quit your dreams. It simply suggests you postpone them. Just for today. Just one more hour. Just one more episode. Just one more scroll. Just one more day. And before you realize it, years have disappeared. The most dangerous addictions aren't always the ones that destroy your life quickly. Sometimes they're the ones that destroy it slowly. The ones that feel harmless. The ones that feel deserved. The ones that never look dangerous while they're happening. Comfort is one of those addictions. Because comfort gives you immediate rewards and delayed consequences. Your brain loves that trade. Sleep in instead of training. Feels good now. Skip studying. Feels good now. Avoid the difficult conversation. Feels good now. Stay inside your comfort zone. Feels good now. The problem is that your future pays the bill for choices that your present self enjoys. And most people never connect the two. They look at successful people and wonder what secret they know. But the secret isn't complicated. Successful people learn something that average people avoid. Growth and comfort cannot exist in the same place for very long. The moment you're completely comfortable, growth begins to slow down. Think about the strongest people you've ever met. Not physically, mentally, the people who seem confident, disciplined, focused, resilient. They weren't built through comfort. They were built through discomfort. Every meaningful skill in your life came from discomfort. Learning to walk, learning to speak, learning to drive, learning a career, building a business, getting in shape, improving relationships. Everything valuable required discomfort first. Yet somehow, as adults, we start believing we can grow without it. We want success without struggle, results without sacrifice, confidence without challenge. But reality doesn't work that way. Your future is shaped by what you repeatedly choose. And every day you face the same question. Do I choose comfort or do I choose growth? Most people don't make one giant mistake that ruins their lives. Instead, they make hundreds of small, comfortable decisions. And those decisions compound. One skipped workout doesn't matter. One lazy morning doesn't matter. 1 hour of scrolling doesn't matter. But repeated thousands of times, it changes everything. Because habits create identity. Every action is a vote for the person you're becoming. When you repeatedly choose comfort, you're training yourself to avoid difficulty. When you repeatedly choose challenge, you're training yourself to handle difficulty. And life always rewards the second person. Here's something most people never realize. Comfort is addictive because it feels like safety. But comfort and safety are not the same thing. Imagine someone who hates public speaking. Avoiding the stage feels safe. But every year they avoid it, fear grows stronger. Imagine someone who wants to start a business. Avoiding risk feels safe. But every year they delay, opportunities disappear. Imagine someone who wants a better life. Avoiding effort feels safe. But every year they stay the same, regret grows. Comfort protects you from temporary discomfort, but often creates permanent dissatisfaction. That's the trap. The comfortable choice today often becomes the painful consequence tomorrow. And the uncomfortable choice today often becomes the freedom you enjoy later. That's why discipline looks painful from the outside. People see the workout, the studying, the sacrifice, the early mornings. What they don't see is the freedom those choices create years later. The irony is that disciplined people often end up with easier lives, and comfort addicts often end up with harder lives. Not because life is unfair, because consequences compound. Every choice matters, not immediately, but eventually. That's why comfort is more dangerous than most people think. It never attacks. It invites. It doesn't threaten. It seduces. It simply asks, wouldn't it be easier to do this tomorrow? And tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. Then one day, you look around and wonder where the time went. You wonder why your confidence never grew, why your dreams never happened, why your life stayed smaller than you imagined. The answer is often uncomfortable. You didn't lose to failure. You lost to comfort. And perhaps the scariest part is this. Comfort often disguises itself as self-care. It tells you to rest when you should act. It tells you to wait when you should begin. It tells you to stay where you are when every part of you knows it's time to grow. That's why so many people mistake comfort for happiness. But comfort and happiness are not the same thing. Comfort keeps you where you are. Growth takes you where you want to be. Think about the moments you're most proud of in your life. The moments that shaped you. The moments that made you stronger. Were they comfortable? Probably not. They were difficult, uncertain, uncomfortable. And that's exactly why they mattered. Nobody looks back proudly on years spent avoiding challenges. Nobody tells stories about staying safe. People remember the risks they took, the fears they faced, the obstacles they overcame, because struggle creates meaning. Comfort rarely does. At the end of your life, you won't regret the difficult things you attempted. You'll regret the opportunities you never chased, the conversations you never had, the dreams you never pursued, the version of yourself you never became. And that's the true cost of comfort. Not pain, not effort, potential. And that's important because it means something powerful. If comfort created the problem, courage can create the solution. You don't need a complete life transformation overnight. You don't need perfect motivation. You don't need a dramatic breakthrough. You simply need to become comfortable being uncomfortable. One choice at a time, one action at a time, one challenge at a time. Because every time you do something difficult, you weaken comfort's control over your life. Every workout, every hard conversation, every difficult decision, every step forward despite fear. Those moments build a stronger version of you, a version that doesn't depend on motivation, a version that doesn't run from discomfort, a version capable of creating a bigger future. And that's the person most people never become. Not because they can't, because comfort convinced them not to try. The truth is that alcohol can destroy a decade. Drugs can destroy a decade, but comfort can quietly destroy an entire lifetime. Because comfort never looks dangerous. It looks normal. It looks reasonable. It looks safe. Until one day you realize it cost you everything you could have become. So ask yourself one question. What area of your life has become too comfortable? Your health? Your goals? Your habits? Your relationships? Your future? Because the life you want is usually hiding behind the discomfort you're avoiding. And the moment you stop choosing comfort over growth, everything begins to change. If this message hit home, leave a comment below. No more comfort. And if you want more lessons on discipline, self-respect, confidence, and human nature, hit the like button and subscribe. Because your future will not be built by the comfortable choices. It will be built by the difficult ones. The ones most people avoid. The ones that make you stronger. The ones that transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Choose growth, choose challenge, choose the future version of yourself, and never let comfort steal your potential again.